So my girlfriend and I are having a debate. She thinks seasoning chicken with spices is the best way to cook it, but I think just using salt is actually more important and gives it more flavor. So we're putting it to the test. I'm going to perfectly salt one chicken breast and perfectly season another, cooking them the exact same way and putting them in a taste test battle to see if we can convince her to switch sides or if I'll be switching sides. We're gonna first need some chicken breast. I have 2 pieces here, and as a rough rule of thumb, smaller chicken breasts are usually better than bigger ones. They tend to have more flavor, so I usually go for the smallest chicken breast I could find. Now these chicken breasts are a little thick, so we're gonna grab ourselves a knife and we're just gonna split them in half. I like to put a little pressure on top of it with one hand and just carefully cut through it. Now, splitting chicken breast in half will significantly reduce your cook time, especially if you're cooking it in a pan like we'll be doing shortly. But first, we have to season these suckers. We're gonna do 2 versions, one that's been only salted and the other that's been seasoned. Technically, it's covered in spices because the word seasoning applies for salt as well. Now, for the salted version, we're gonna be doing what's called a dry brine, or if you're Alton Brown, a micro brine.
It's like microdosing, except with brine.
Now I'm gonna grab a small sheet pan and I'm gonna throw our chicken breast on top of it and we're gonna hit it with a generous amount of salt. We're using kosher salt here and we're salting both sides of the chicken breast. If you have a wire rack, you could put the chicken breast on it, but you don't really need it. What the dry brine is gonna do is it's gonna pull the moisture out of the chicken and it's gonna dissolve that salt, and then the salt is gonna get absorbed into the chicken. This is one of the big advantages the salted chicken has over the seasoned chicken, because the seasoned chicken can't absorb the seasoning into the meat, it's only on the surface. And no, this method will not make your chicken too salty. On the other hand, I find dry brining always perfectly salts my proteins because all that excess liquid just drips off. Now, how much time do you need to give this? Ideally, like a couple hours in the fridge, or if you're in a rush, you can just do 30 minutes to an hour on the counter. Alternatively, you can do a wet brine, which uses water and salt, and you just throw your chicken in there, but I will admit this is not the most practical method. I personally never do that as a home cook, nor do I plan on doing it anytime soon. Oh, that's a loud lightning strike. Now for our seasoned chicken, we're just gonna be sprinkling all-purpose seasoning on it right before we cook it. This all-purpose seasoning blend I made myself, and it consists of 2 tablespoons of paprika, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, a few cranks of black pepper, and typically I would put 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, but we didn't put any salts in here because we wanted to keep it just the seasoning or the spices. Once your chicken is fully covered with all-purpose seasoning on both sides, we're gonna now get ready to start cooking our chicken breasts. Now to cook these breasts, I'm gonna be using the same non-stick pan and I'm gonna be hitting it with a little bit of spray oil. Now for the salted chicken we dry brine, all we're gonna do is just dab off any excess moisture with a paper towel. I have our pan set to medium-high heat and I'm gonna give both of our chicken breasts a good 2-minute sear on both sides, and then I'm gonna flip it every minute until our internal temperature of our chicken breast reaches 150 degrees, which you can safely eat chicken breast that's been cooked to 150 degrees. You just have to let it rest for 3 minutes. Now, both of our chicken breasts have been seared to perfection and we're now taste testing to see which is better. Now, my girlfriend's gonna be the first one to taste it, and she is a firm believer that seasoning is more important than salt. What do you think tastes better? A chicken that's been salted or a chicken that has only seasoning on it?
The seasoned chicken.
I'm gonna first give her the piece of the salted chicken, which she definitely liked, but now we have to give her the piece of the seasoned chicken.
Okay, I hate to admit it, the first one was better.
Actually? No way!
I was a staunch believer that it was gonna be the seasoning, but it's just like meh. Like without the salt, it's just not giving. If you give me a plate and you're like, you need to finish this chicken, I think I'd have a hard time finishing this, but I could finish this.
Now, I also did the test as well, and I was suspicious of the seasoned piece. Admittedly, not loving that piece. And I'm happy to report that I was easily able to spot the salted piece. Instantly. That's the salted piece. The salted piece is so much better. You could tell instantly that the salted piece just has so much more flavor. If I'm choosing between just seasoning or just salting my chicken, I'm salting my chicken.
Me too.
Wow. Now there is technically secretly a third piece that I also made. This third piece uses both the technique of a salt dry brine and the seasoning of the spice mixture. When you cook that piece and you mix the two seasonings together, I gotta say, you have the ultimate flavored chicken.
Oh, phenomenal.
Okay. Wow. Salt by itself, insanely delicious. Seasoning by itself, kind of mid. And then salt and seasoning is the absolute powerhouse. If you wanna learn more interesting cooking techniques, check out my no water chicken soup video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Have a wonderful rest of your day.